You ready? Okay. This is Buster Boyd, and I am a Bespoke Barber. Does that sound okay? I think that's kind of one thing that I've always kept in my mind, is that if you want to be considered a master at anything, you need to plan on committing about 10,000 hours to whatever it is that you do. It would be difficult for me to consider myself a professional or a master if I don't spend as much time with scissors or clippers in my hand as a professional basketball player might spend with a basketball in his hands. Or to think about some of the various professional athletes that are participating in sports right now, and I have to kind of wonder if I want to be considered a master or a professional at what I do. I ask myself, am I spending as much time training, thinking, meditating, obsessing about what I do as they do, involved with whatever sport it is that they perform? So when you think about Olympic athletes or any of the guys that are participating in the Super Bowl, I think if not now, I aspire to be a professional barber in the same regard, in terms of hours spent practicing what I do, and then of course spending time behind the chair with actual clients, with real guests. So the reason I like to think about it in the context of sports, is because the professional athlete doesn't just become a professional on the court or on the field during games. Of course, they spend significantly more time in practices, running drills and practicing plays, practicing smaller, more detailed parts of the big picture over and over and over again. So I don't think it would be fair for us as barbers or hairstylists to call ourselves professionals if we don't also have practice. I guess hair school is a good start, barbering school is a good start, but to become an actual professional and to consider myself a professional, I wouldn't be able to do that in good conscience if I weren't spending an equal and significant amount of time away from the chair practicing. Some people here at the salon and online have asked me a little bit about what I do to practice, or what my practice consists of, and I would say a lot of what I do and a lot of what I've practiced comes from a class that I had when I was still with Paul Mitchell. It was a class that we had in Las Vegas at a student event called Caper, and Paul Mitchell has Caper every year, and I was lucky enough to be in a classroom with Scott Cole during this Paul Mitchell trip to Las Vegas. And one thing that Scott Cole did differently than any of the other classes was he led us through what he calls skills and drills. And skills and drills consisted of various exercises with our scissors, practicing our still blade, as well as practicing small but very detailed movements with the other hand in terms of moving the comb, holding the comb, sectioning hair. And so that really stood out to me, because he was the only of the various instructors during that weekend of education that led us through a warm-up or practice before we actually got our hands on the hair, on the mannequins, and started to actually do practical exercises and hands-on exercises. And that really impressed me. So while I was in hair school especially, I found myself on my way home from hair school or watching TV, flipping my comb, holding my comb, getting used to moving it like I would if I was doing a scissor over comb technique, as well as getting my hands trained to feel comfortable with both a comb and scissors in one hand, palming the shears, using the comb to section hair, flipping the comb from the fine tooth to the wider tooth while holding scissors at the same time. So, I think that's one thing too that really kind of separates not only myself but also the people I work with, at the Absinthe Parlor is a lot of us want to be considered professionals by our guests as well as just honestly by ourselves too. So skills and drills and practice, significant amount of practice away from the chair so that when we are behind the chair, like an athlete at an Olympic event, we bring our A game to the table and we can give that guest our best, basically the best hair that we can do. We're always improving, we're always getting better and stronger and smarter. And in terms of in the Absinthe Parlor, what we do in working with our stylists, what we refer to that as becoming a threat. We want to be a threat in our industry. We want to be dangerous in a way. We want to pose a threat to other stylists in our area for no other reason than stimulating a healthy competition that results in a better product for the people that pay us money, that pay us good money to do what we do. So yeah, we want to be a threat. And that's one of the best ways I know to become more of a threat. You know, putting it in the context of sports or musicians, taking it to that level and holding yourself to that standard, because no one's going to do it for you, especially if you're a booth rent stylist or an independent stylist. No one's going to force you to do that other than yourself, and no one is responsible for your failure to do so except yourself. So yeah, I guess I invite anyone that might be listening to do the same and to hold yourself to that standard and to pursue a higher level of performance, because that's what it's going to take as things continue to get better and people continue to learn more and get faster and smarter. And especially now that the Absinthe Parlor is part of the picture, now that we're here and now that we're participating in the scene, you know, our team is on the field. So I guess in a way I'm kind of challenging everyone else around us to up their game, because, you know, it's go time. So yeah, that's what we do. That's how we stay current, and honestly it makes our jobs more fun, and driving to work in the morning feels better if you know that you're really great at what you do. And so that definitely plays a big role in why you should even want to push yourself. It's a lot more fun, it's a lot more satisfying, and it's a lot more sexy when you're really great at what you do. And there's a certain confidence that comes with that. And that's the kind of people that we like to spend our time with. And that's the kind of person that I like to surround myself with, inside and outside the Absinthe Parlor. So that would be my advice.